Hello, everyone, and welcome. There you go. There's your rolling start for you. Welcome to Bronyville episode. It's 152 or 153. We'll figure it out. Recorded on, what is this?
September 28th, 2014.
Yep. Sandy's here.
Yep.
I am your host, Apple Cider. Or a host. There's two of us, so technically there's...
Yep.
You know, they can't go full rainbow on this and just claim it's my show.
It's not. This isn't your band. It's our band. Get it right.
How relevant. So yeah, we're doing a horse show today. We are full on into the hiatus, and we got some bad news about the hiatus too.
Oh, jeez. The hiatus just becomes more hiatus-y.
The hiatus. So yeah, it's the two of us this week. As for stuff that is going on, oh look, it's cute kittens. If you're looking at the show or looking at the video, there's cute kittens just got posted of the main six. Starry posted that. I was wondering why she wasn't just awing all over the place. But yeah, we are knee deep, neck deep, however deep we need to be, into the entire Rainbow Rocks period. It released yesterday.
Oh man.
Yep. It has been seen. It is now seeable in multiple places. But we will talk about that during the show a little bit. Next week, you can expect a full-on 100% MLG XXX spoiler cast. Oh, gross. They're all horses. Who would...
Those are cats.
I thought the Starry Night one... look at Starry's is all, like, actual...
They're little kitties.
I can't tell. Huh.
It's all the variations of the main six's various types of cat.
Oh,
because
okay. I don't know.
It's Pusheen.
Oh, yeah,
Pusheen. If you join us over at streamup.com/Bronyville podcast every Sundays, you can see all the silly pictures that get posted into the chat. Always great stuff for an audio version of the podcast.
That's why you gotta come to the stream to get the full experience.
I know. And we also record these, or should be recording them. This should be recorded. Sure.
I hope so.
Yeah. It should be recorded. It's set to auto record. But yeah, we've got Rainbow Rock, so we're going to cover that really hard on next week. So we'll do that next Sunday, cover everything that's going on with that. And, you know, for this week, there's kind of not a ton going on. I don't think.
There is news and there is, like, happenings. But
certainly happenings.
The great happening that everyone was so scared about, Equestria Girls 2, became a non-happening when people are like, oh, it's actually better than the original. And, you know, stuff. The great and powerful Trixie has saved the day. And we'll discuss that probably next week.
Perhaps.
Trixie is the true heroine of the show.
Absolutely. Just saved you all from a potentially fatal situation. But yeah, that's the thing. We're gonna cover that next week. So this week is just covering all of your news bases, all the happenings in the fandom, which guess what? It's the hiatus. It keeps being a hiatus.
Yes.
I mean, this week more than other weeks has some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and not so good, not so bad. Interesting decisions and PSAs. I mean, it's just we'll get to the news after we do the topic real quick, and
what would the topic be?
Well, our vague impressions of the movie, and then how we're surviving the hiatus.
Sure. Well, let's cover the hiatus point, because I think that's most important. Hey, Sandy, do you know what our current statement of when the hiatus is over is going to be?
The rumors that I've heard is 6 months from now.
March.
It
will be March. The summer hiatus will move straight into fall and through winter.
It's the great ponyless year. Jesus Christ.
And you
Will
thought
we
we were
survive?
and you thought we were ripping each other apart before. Guess what? Yep. So
Oh man.
we get to expect that. It's gonna be more fun. We get to have
and
more crazy fan fiction to sustain us.
so let's do our sponsors real quick.
Sure.
Because those are important. Hey, there's this con called Nightmare Nights Dallas.
Really?
Nightmare Nights Dallas. Yes, we finally announced our last guest, Natasha Levenger. That brings our final count up to 9 total show guests. Tether St. Germain, Britt McKillop, Natasha Levenger, Amy King Rogers, Heather Newfer, Mitch Larson, and not M.A. Larson, GM Barrow. I'm naming them off the top of my head. Plus Dusty Cat, plus White Dove Creations, plus 12 Papers as our moderator and British man in charge of keeping the spaghetti off of our guests during panels. Use the coupon code Bronyville10 for registration to get 10% off. The prices are not going up until the convention. Well, they're not going to go up in general. They're $40 this year. It's $40 for the weekend. Buy a ticket. Come on. And you can save 10% using the coupon code Bronyville10. And currently on the list of who's used coupon codes what and where, Bronyville is on top.
Hooray! It helps having the one of the chairmen as your show pimping.
I
it
know,
every
right?
week. But no, and or go for it.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the Bronyville 10 works for any package.
Yes. Up to, well, right now we only have we've sold out of every last one of our premium tickets. So the only ones we have left are the sponsor, which is the 110, the premium, or regular, preferred, and sponsor. And then after that, everything's sold out because people got really excited and bought all of our premium tickets, which is really nice. It shows a great deal of confidence in the convention, and I'm really happy that's the case. We have more than doubled our room nights year over year. Our ticket sales are up a ridiculous amount, and the cash on hand is rather absurd. So things are glorious at the moment. And yeah, we're looking like we'll be strong for this year and even stronger for 2015.
Announcement.
Gasp.
You'll probably do a con next year.
No, we will do a con next year because we have a signed contract. Because the ride doesn't end, at least this year.
Will your signed contract mean that we have to suffer a year-long hiatus to get to the next convention?
There will be a year-long convention hiatus for Nightmare Nights. Yes, unfortunately, it's all this planning, 3 days of ridiculous fun and lots of people, and then a whole year of waiting for the next one.
Yes, but then you could do like Babs Con or some other like equestrian style thing to fill the empty void of your Nightmare Nights. Perhaps. So yeah. You can do that. That is Nightmare Nights Dallas. That is coming up soon. The Bronyville 10 only works online. Can't do it at the door.
Yep.
Save yourself some money. And audiostratus.com, my little program I'm trying to get off the ground for making online audio recording stuff. If you like online audio recordings across the internet, go over to audiostratus.com. Sign up in the email sheet. I got to get back on track. I've been having some slow weeks, and I need to harass a programmer on that. But keep on me. Contact me on Twitter. Say, hey, how's that thing going? So I'd be like, people actually want this. Because I know you do. I know people want it. I want it. It's just one of those things like, trying to start this and everything costs so much money. So, yep, there's that. I don't think we got any other sponsors, at least coming up in my mind right now. That sounds good. So let's see. We've got the hiatus, which, as we mentioned earlier, is going to continuing.
Yes. It is really, it's unfortunate that it's taking this long, but we're getting another full 26, and they're trying really hard to make Equestria Girls and Equestria Academy a thing. The it should come as no surprise that Equestria Girls 2 ends with a string for Equestria Girls 3 to become a thing, because of course, if this prints them money, they're not going to stop doing it. And Equestria Academy they're set that up with the movie as well, with the means of communication between worlds being established fairly early in the film. So, who knows? We may have a Equestria Girls TV series running in conjunction with the Pony series, and Twilight being the XB for Celestia in that situation. Who knows?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go with that. We're not going to divulge too hard into the spoilery topic, so we can kind of go on the basis. So let's jump into let's jump into the Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks, which debuted yesterday amid much fanfare.
Yeah, and as you would guess, I mean, all the show staff were tweeting all the stuff, and they made a little hashtag for people to post pictures of themselves at the theater, and it's, as you would expect, lots of bronies. But then you had people like Jamie Foxx show up at the premiere with, I'm like, that dude did not look thrilled to be there, but he had 3 little girls, so he was like, I'm doing it for my kids.
You could have set a wooden cutout of him right there on the red carpet, and I would again like, oh, look, it's Jamie Foxx. Just like, yeah.
Yeah, lots of people went and saw it yesterday, and I know that people in my meetup group went yesterday, and of course there's, I think 14 people from my local group went, but there's multiple showings at multiple theaters in the area because being in a major city means we don't have to go way out of our way. Which is actually nice because last time Equestria Girls was only showing in like Waco and Temple, which are a good 50-something miles away from where I live. And crazy people like good old Zyro from Equestria Daily actually drove out there like twice to see it.
Psychopath.
So they're actually showing it in DFW for this time. I mean, General Equestria Girls was probably a bit of a gamble. And now they're kind of like, oh, this sold really well for us, and we can make more of this. So if it's going to make them money, they're going to continue.
Yep.
I admit I have only seen like the first 30 to 40 minutes of the show. There's cam rips, and it's really hard for me to watch it at home because I can't just focus. I had like 3 phone calls, 2 conversations with my partner, all of it about convention stuff. If I go to the theater and sit in the dark and watch the movie, I can watch the movie. But here at home, there's just too much distraction. It seems to be a good deal better. There's better animation. I thought the reverse cafeteria song was actually pretty good. The siren song. Right up in the beginning. And man, the main 5 are jerks to sunset.
Absolutely. And we're not giving away any too much spoilers. Most of this is stuff that you could already see on the previews that they've released. But the I did the first showing 10:30 a.m. In the middle of San Francisco at the Balboa Theater. There was, we got in, we went with TechFac, Starry was there, and we all went and saw it. Packed theater, absolutely full, about 50-50 kids with parents, and then bronies making it up, so it was a nice kind of slice down the middle, which I immediately tried to, hedge the spaghetti factor by bringing a whole bunch of the old MLP gear, some of the Paris Bright balls, some of the buttons and stuff, and just giving them out to kids. Just be like, hey, parent, we may do some really silly stuff and celebrate at the screen a little bit. You're not going to get it, but at least your kid got a toy. So, by the end of the day, I don't think they could be like, oh, that was something, but hey, at least my kid got something. So, It was, I give it, I know that there's been people on Twitter that have been talking a lot about like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. And I'm like, I disagree. But I've seen a few movies.
It's like, I disagree, but you're welcome to your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. I will say it's the second best My Little Pony horse movie I've seen. Because I kind of like the first one for retelling the story. Now, granted, I feel like even though I went to see the movie, it may have been spoiled or may have had its it may have diminished just a little bit for me, just based off of some stuff that happened. For instance, the twice during the movie, the projector completely shut down. Like, and we're talking like hard crash, 2 loading screen. Takes a few minutes to get back up. In the first instance, actually took a good 15 minutes, so I ran out of the theater to pay the parking meter and then came back in. Like, it was that much of a hard stop. So it was just kind of one of those things of like, oh, well, you know, it kind of took you out of it for that moment. And then, holy crap, the second time it ended could not be at more of a like climax of the movie. Like, as you can probably guess, big, powerful, crazy rainbow energy beam, heroes save the day, the crescendo of all the music is going, and then cuts out. And the entire place erupts in laughter. Because it's just like, you gotta be kidding me. Of all the times for it to happen again, it was this particular moment that it did it. And then when it came back up, it was pretty fantastic because they had their like song where they were fighting back, and everybody had heard it before, so they all just started clapping to it. It's just kind of like, oh boy. I mean, I give it a good 6 out of 10, and I'm not using an IGN level, score system where I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It stinks. Like, no, I give it a 6. Where 7 is very middle of the, or a 5 is very middle of the row. If we're using school scores, I'll give it a C. I thought it was a fine movie, but I didn't think that it was. That they had some neat cameos. But it's something that I'd be like, as I kind of put it earlier, would I watch an hour and a half of this, or would I watch an hour and a half of what some people consider like the worst episodes of the show, which I like a lot of what people consider the worst episodes of the show. Why people think the Breezy's episode is that horrible kills me.
I thought the Breeze episode was fine.
I know. I don't get it.
I thought the Breezies were cute.
And they were Swedish. How could you not like that? Yeah. So, I mean, the entire thing is just like, it's like, this was good. It was well animated. Like, you could tell that their riggings were a lot better. It was technically more sound. The villains were interesting in that particular case. I don't know. I just feel like it just kind of rolled around on itself a few times. And Sandy, you have seen this, and you can verify that the way that the villains get their powers is the most unfortunate way you could have done that.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
You could, like, we'll talk about it next week, but once you see it, you can't unsee it.
You have to, we'll bring up, and if you do go see it in the intervening week,
don't.
We'll and you don't get it when we tell you you cannot unsee it.
Yeah, it's pretty. Like, the moment it happened, I was like, it's not gonna be like this the whole movie, is it? Oh no, they do this. They do this a lot. Oh man. So it's pretty. It's yeah. But no, I mean, I think it was fine. I have to say that a lot of the music that people were kind of like, I don't know about this Trixie song. A lot of the music that they were going to use, that they have the long extended cuts, those songs actually, they don't play them fully through. So
Okay.
you're not listening to Trixie be obnoxious for the entire movie and singing that song, though she does sing it several times because rehearsals. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it was fine. I know that I've definitely met some people that were like, I'm not going to watch it because I believe that it is a bastardization of Lauren Faust's beliefs and how the show should have been, and I like for my cute equines to stay cute equines. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
I prefer my cute equines to remain cute equines, but I'm not gonna like utterly shit on EQG. It does its job as a vehicle for them to sell toys, for them to compete with Mattel and Monster High.
And man, will I tell you, even if it wasn't particularly like what you wanted, man, did it feel good to just go like, yeah, that's a little bit of relief. Thank you.
It's a tiny hit.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I mean, it's interesting. They do some really good gags. Lesbian horse, best horses.
Yes. Seriously, seeing the screen cap of Lyra and Bon Bon, what they're doing, their little duet, piqued the interest in the film like a million times more than actually the preview stuff they put out. And I was like, oh shit, they're doing stuff together. Oh man, that's cute.
The happening is happening.
Yeah. Well, Rusty, we're not actually talking specifics. That's the thing.
Yeah. I'm trying not to, like, I want to divulge, and I could talk a little bit post-show if any of you want to really go into it. I could do that. Starry is shaking her head that we should probably save that for, next week. Sure. Yep. And we can get a whole bunch of people in here to talk some crazy about what they saw and their feelings on it. So yeah. So there's that, the hiatus, the fact that the hub is no more, which was a really quiet thing that I think not a lot of people heard this week.
Yeah, hub is kill.
The hub is gone. Bye hub.
So we'll just go right into the news.
Let's do it.
Fandom fire status. Oh, there's a fire over there.
Rip hub.
Better watch out. So yeah, the hub is over with. It is becoming Discovery Family on October 13th. 2 weeks from today, the hub will be no more. Rest in peace, hub logo. You will no longer grace the corners of Pony's shows and block out things that are important.
You will no longer sit over there and be gazed at by characters from the show dismissively or shocked at or made fun of because it's there.
Or have Luna sit sadly in the ground and poke at the hub logo because it's concealing an item that makes more sense when you see it.
I didn't see that, Cap. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like it's from Luna Eclipsed when she's sitting in front of the statue and she pushes a piece of candy towards the statue of Nightmare Moon. But on the original broadcast, she just kind of pokes the hub logo.
Why did you have to write me like this?
Yeah, it's not the end of the line for ponies, obviously. Hasbro will still control a 6-hour programming block in the mornings. They will still have, ponies. They will still have Transformers. Is Transformers still going? I don't know. They'll still have Pet Shop for as long as it continues to limp along. Basically, they'll still have their Transformers Rescue Bots, I guess, is the only thing going on. But they're going to be adding a lot of the Discovery-esque things like Flying Wild Alaska, Extreme Engineering, and various, dwarf hoarders, the usual crap you see on Discovery Channel stuff.
Does this now mean that we can get the Mythbusters on the on My Little Pony? Because I would that seems pretty good.
Talking horses, myth confirmed. I guess that could happen, but it could also mean that Hasbro's going to shop their stuff out to other channels like Nick or Cartoon Network.
That's true. Now, I was making a little bit of a reference earlier this week, which caught some people's attention, and they went, "What?" But I was like, "Yeah, guess what? Because of all this, there are now a whole bunch of new Disney princesses, and they're all horses." So, I thought you had something for that, Sandy.
What?
Hey.
I was trying to. I mentioned dwarf hoarders, and Broke Pony was like, "What?" It's a video called TLC promo that is basically mocking all the ridiculous shows that TLC puts on as in the guise of learning.
But I was saying I've recalled I heard something earlier this week that invoked that Disney in some way had some ownership.
No. So the joke is Disney gets more princesses and they're all horses. Is that that Hasbro is going to be making some toys and stuff. They're going to be making stuff like Frozen, Maleficent, teaming up to produce merchandise of the characters. I don't really know how different that's going to be from their already existing stuff. I mean, maybe they're going to make Disney princess action figures. I don't know, because
with Kung Fu Grip.
Yeah. Frozen with Let It Go Kung Fu Grip. Or Won't Let It Go Kung Fu Grip. There we go. So I mean, we'll see that, and it doesn't mean that anything's like Hasbro's not being sold or bought by Disney or anything like that. It's just Hasbro is going to be making some of their merchandise for the Disney princess lines.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Maybe they'll end up with Disney Princess Equestria Girls type dolls. Maybe they'll end up with little play sets.
Maybe you'll get your Deadpool Pinky after all. Probably not.
Probably not. I'm going to go with not. Let's just say not, because that's terrible. That would be a terrible combination that we wouldn't survive.
What is up with the wibbly thing near my leg? I've got a wibbly thing? Oh, no.
The tentacles.
That's his foot. Oh, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Princess Pinkie Pie, Princess Applejack joining Cadence and Twilight and everyone else. They get like 10 more princesses. And, I just really wouldn't want to be the person in that quad suit at the Disney parks. That would be their own special kind of hell.
They could just get that Princess Celestia suitor from a while back to
that wasn't even his final form.
With the face and the neck. Nice.
There's a Luna one of that too.
Oh boy,
man,
that's a good time.
Speaking of Celestia, though, Build-A-Bear is going to have a Celestia.
Woo!
Woot! Praise the sun. Though she's going to be like the same size as every other pony, but it's still Princess Sunbutt, so I'll give it a pass. Speaking of Build-A-Bear, I recently purchased for a couple other folks the Toothless, from How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, those things are apparently flying off the shelves. They sold out online in like a day, and then they got some in the stores, and they had gotten them like a day or two before, and they were down to maybe like 15 units when I'd purchased mine for an artist in Zyro. So it's like, yeah, Build-A-Bear has found themselves a lucrative market in doing licensed plushies. People apparently don't give half a crap about, Marvel costume wearing bears, but boy, give them a pony or a dragon from a popular movie and suddenly it flies off the shelves. Who knew? So I'll probably end up getting it because Sunbutt.
Yeah, you good.
Sunbutt, best butt.
Just don't roll that around with Nicole Oliver, or she'll mockingly be mad at you.
Yeah.
Because acting is fun.
Yeah, the Build-A-Bears, they're cute, they're good, and for what they are, I mean, they're $25. I prefer the fourth dimension ones because they're smaller and basically, just better looking in general. But for a mass-produced plush, it's actually pretty good. Other than that, so Brony Fanfare is done with. Brony Fanfare was a third-year Brony convention here in Texas that had a bit of a rough go of it this year, and as such has decided that they will not be returning for 2015. I was there. They saw a rather significant drop in their attendance, and while people had fun, such a significant drop of attendance is not good for the bottom line of these conventions, and as such, they kind of folded. I mean, it is unfortunate because they ended up within 6 weeks of Nightmare Nights, and that probably didn't help them much.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter, he's a nice guy. He'll be at MyCon as just attending, because we had table trades established with him. So he'll get to come and just enjoy the con, maybe, instead of sitting behind the table. And, we're still working with Fiesta Equestria. We've got their chairman is one of my subordinates for operations. I mean, we try to play ball here in Texas. Now we're just down to 2. So we will see what the next year brings. I mean, Nightmare Nights has a 2-year contract, so we're definitely going to be back next year. But we shall see how things settle out. The hiatus, man, it's brutal.
It just keeps going, that's for sure. But yeah, that's gone, which now leaves, down to pretty much Nightmare Nights Dallas as the convention in Texas at this time.
Well, there's also Fiesta Equestria. I mean, they're in the middle of the summer. We're in the fall, early winter. So I mean, there's plenty of space, and there's only 28 million people in Texas alone. I mean, I just don't know how we can support more than one. Oh wait, we totally can. And it's just a matter of marketing yourselves.
Rusty wants to know what happened to Animation Celebration.
They imploded and died, and the chairperson is on the run and owes people possibly up to 6 figures of money. I don't know. They wrote a bunch of checks their butts couldn't cash, and it didn't go well for them.
Last we heard, they were somewhere in Tennessee.
Or Florida or Ohio, not in Texas.
Texas takes care of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, as Noteworthy mentions, that's the one where he gave them the gentle double tap. Shh.
It's important to be nice to people.
It's con mismanagement happens in every fandom under the sun, as we have seen with the various Minecraft debacles and DashCon. I mean, it's not like scumbag convention organizers are limited to bronies.
Right. And no one goes out to fail.
Yeah, nobody is. Well, I don't know. There was a couple of them Minecraft ones which looked really scammy. But, most people go into this business, and it is a business, with the intention of not necessarily profitability, but breaking even and putting on something for their community. It's not like nobody's getting rich doing this unless you're a mega established convention like that's been around for 20 something years, like A-Kon is. So,
such as cons, there's gonna
such is the game. This business is can be brutal. You got to manage your costs and everything. It's crazy.
So would you say that probably over this year, we certainly had, so let's say 2012, we had one convention. 2013, we had a billion.
2012, we had like 5. No, 2013, we had like 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then, come 2013, there was just a rash of them. And I don't mean that in like the bad way, but just like there was them popping all over the place.
Well, I mean, we started the year off with a bang with Las Pegasus.
Woo!
And then, of course, we had a couple other things just not work out and cons shuffling around. We had Sweet Apple Acres and that disaster. And this year's been really quiet. I mean, there's been cons. You've got the patch, yeah.
I've got the Las Pegasus, the Las Patchasus. Yeah.
You should put that on like a black armband and wear it to conventions.
I know that people like I'm trying to oh man, I'm just gonna be so bad because he makes patches all the time. He goes to a whole bunch of conventions. I'm just losing his name right now. Screw Loose.
He's
Gotcha.
Gonna be at Nightmare Nights.
I know, and I felt bad because I was trying to remember which of our friends was one. But yeah, he makes these, and he actually said at one of the Brony cons, some people purchased a Las Pegasus Unicon patch specifically to burn it. I was like, that seems kind of sad. I like it for the fact that it's like a badge of honor. What a train wreck. That was a fun train wreck. And as long as everything worked out in the end, which it looks like it did. But yeah, I kind of am curious, like, as for this, so 2014, let's say, is mostly in the bag. You've got Nightmare Nights Dallas is kind of like the last big convention that's going to be there for the year.
There's the Ponyville Cider Fest, which is up in, I think, Milwaukee. They're a couple weeks after Nightmare Nights. And then you have, I think, Running of the Leaves Con, which is another small one. We just had DerpyCon South, which was small. Mm-hmm. It was small last year. I mean, there's lots and lots of little bitty cons that are around. And, you know, it's kind of settling out. There's the small regional gatherings, and then there's the big ones. I mean, we'll see how Ciderfest pans out. I mean, they seem to have a decent lineup for a year one con. Mm-hmm. But they're a year one con, so, you know, we'll see how conservative they were with their budgeting.
Mm-hmm. And you got EQLA, which may be rising from the dead.
Oh, no, it totally is. I'm on board with helping that resurrection.
Oh.
Yes. Who knows? You ever been to LAAC?
I have. It's been 14 years, but yes.
We might end up in LA. Who knows?
We might. That's where everybody ends up anyway.
Oh, man.
One day you just end up in LA.
You wake up, you're in an alleyway.
Oh, shoot, I'm in Anaheim. What's happening? Let's be honest. Anaheim, you might consider it a different city. It's the same city. It's just in LA. It's in LA. Like the entire like LA proper regional area. Like it's right there in it. Oh, everybody's going to go map now. Try and prove me wrong. It's like 20 miles away from LA.
That doesn't mean
Right, but I'm not saying it's a suburb, but it's in that whole like collection. Like it's like saying, you know, yes, Oakland is not in San Francisco, but it is in the area of San Francisco.
Look how far away.
It's still close enough for me. Because look at just how spread out. No, this is great for an.
This is Los Angeles. This area. That it ends. It ends like around.
Say, Starry's giving me map lessons, which is great for a podcast.
Anaheim is its own major city.
I see. LA is big.
LA is huge.
Let's say the entirety of what I can include the LA area, which is that entire map that you have in your hands right there, Starry, is huge. And it just keeps
Geography Cast. That's right.
I don't care, Sabrina. It's okay.
It's like there even when I zoom out.
Yes, sweetie.
It's its own thing.
Okay, that's good. It's really close to LA.
Moving on. So, Equestria Daily actually posted a couple things this week. How Not to Be a Spaghetti Lord, essentially, part 1 and 2. So, last time Equestria Girls came out, apparently there were people in theaters who were dumbasses.
Oh, really?
I'm sure that none of you listening to this show now would do that.
That'd be a bad
But
thing
they actually
to do.
posted an etiquette. They actually posted an etiquette guide from last year. And they just reposted it. It's like, hey, remember, you know, Pony is originally intended for a younger audience, so having a swarm of 15 to 30 somethings bombard a theater might be a bit intimidating. So don't scare people. Jesus Christ. Shouting derpy at a PonyCon is perfectly acceptable, but not at a movie theater.
Bursting out in the song before the episode
Yes.
might be considered odd.
Please do not scare the children. Do not scare the parents. Just attend and enjoy the movie.
Sharing your favorite Tumblr site may be a good idea with your close friends, depending on the Tumblr site, but please do not do that in public.
Oh no, you should totally go look at Rarijack Daily.
Oh boy.
Actually, it's a cute Tumblr. It's just Rarity and Applejack shipping pictures, nothing explicit. And even then, that might squick some people. And also, the second part was actually something that Heather Breckel, who's a pretty cool lady, colorist on the MLP comics, has put on her Tumblr. Speaking of Tumblr. So, Q&A etiquette. She just lays down some basic things that you should probably ask yourself if you're going to ask a question of a show staff or voice actress before you open your big dumb mouth. If you're going to someone's panel, you should know who they are before you ask them a question. Make sure that you can speak clearly and be understood. And if you can't, let a staffer ask the question for you. Remember that there is a difference between constructive criticism and being an asshole. And be considerate of fellow congoers. Don't ask two-part questions if there's a lot of hands up and or a long line for the mic. Try not to ask loaded questions that will involve very long answers. Be considerate of the kids. There are a lot of kids with families that attend conventions. Surprising. Not a lot, but still a significant portion. And conventions like Nightmare Nights, which go out of their way to make it easier for parents to bring their kids, have a higher proportion. Let the kids, don't cuss, don't go into inappropriate territory, don't ask, boy howdy, does, how far does a hoof go? Don't
What?
don't think about it too hard.
Ooh.
If the word fanfic or headcanon appears anywhere in your question, just don't ask it. This might sound, and she knows, this might sound mean and ruin a lot of dreams, but most professionals don't read fanfics based on the things they work on, either because they're straight up told not to or because all their time is spent on the title so they don't have time to read fanfic. So in 100% of instances, it is safe to say that no, the comics show book did not get ideas from you, nor did they do anything to intentionally break your fanfics or headcanon.
I think, Sandy, we have both seen and had to unfortunately cringe at the oh boy. Like, not only in the fact of just like that person asked that, but now the person on stage has to find a way to respond to that. The unfortunate, I do have to agree, when we were sharing stories earlier, the Natasha Levinger one was just like, telling someone that you're like, the episode with the Breezies was the worst because of this, and this. Why'd you write such a bad episode? It's like,
yeah,
what?
It's like, yeah, there's a difference between being constructive criticism and being an asshole. That's an asshole. Or like that dude turned into Polsky at Buck, which is another con that is kill. Convenient. If it hasn't appeared in the show, comic, movie, book yet, you probably shouldn't ask about it. This is obviously a moot point. The series is over and never coming back, but then you can have at it. Because the only answer you're going to get is, you'll find out. We can't spoil you. We can't talk about that and stuff because of magical things called NDAs.
Oh, wow. Rusty, is that a real one? How can Pinky Sense be real if God isn't real? Woof. Whoa.
Or cupcakes or stuff like that. Now, one of the good things about Nightmare Nights is we moderate all our panels. You submit your questions to us in the form of a note card, and our moderator, Full Papers, reads them in his British tones. So we have a spaghetti filter. We have a spaghetti filter. That doesn't mean some jackass won't, scream out a question, but, that's why we have people like Featherprop to bounce people if we need them.
Yep.
But we probably won't need that.
Probably won't, yeah.
Probably won't.
I'd love to see
Yeah, it's just always. I think 99% of people come up that think that they're asking a question that they really probably don't know. Like, that they either sincerely just don't know that that's not a question that you should probably ask, or at least not ask in a public venue. Or, it's just kind of like, I just want to talk to this person because they're special and important, but I don't know what to actually say. So let me come up with something to talk about. Hi, my name is Orange Hoof, and I like the show, and I was just wondering, how hard is it to write for the show? Wild-eyed look. Yeah, it's just I have a feeling there's a number of people that go up there and just be like, there's a microphone, somebody from the show, maybe they'll see me and they'll remember me and I can be working on the show.
Yep. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's just kind of be like, oh, hey, a writer panel. I'm a writer, or I like the idea of writing, or it's just it's kind of hard to explain, but just like think it through if you can, and be nice to people.
Yeah,
hey, blasted.
I mean, and again, most people are. There's gonna be troublemaking jerks, because as a fan, there's always a percentile of a group that's jerks, and the bigger the group, the bigger that percentage is. And you just gotta handle the jerks and realize that no, not all the bronies are like this. Not all the attendees are jerks. This dude may be a jerk. This chick may be a jerk. But odds are the average brony is generally an inoffensive nerd between the ages of 18 and 25 and is there to have a good time, same as you.
Oh, and Jer Bear brings up a good one. You stole my question, which always happens. Like, oh, the person two questions ago actually asked my question, but I'm already in line, so what
does Pinkie Pie taste like?
Why is she so autistic? Like, oh no.
Don't do that, kids.
That's one of my personal favorites, just for the why would you do that? Is she so normal in this episode, and why is she so crazy autistic in this one? It's like, it's called different writing styles.
Different writers, even.
It's like, it made my teeth hurt.
So, moving on.
Yep. Should we talk about the other big thing of the week, which isn't on the news docket, but we can cover somewhat? The
MLP annual stuff.
Yes, we could cover that a little bit. I do want to preface this, and we can just go into it lightly. The MLP annual stuff we covered pretty extensively over on Brony Time with 5 Iron and Alpha. Where we had a big panel of everyone, and we went into it and talked. They talked about brewing. They talked about the drama with that.
And I had opinions.
And we both had somewhat differing opinions, but in the end, it all worked out.
Yep.
So, in the end, let's just give the basic information, and let's present all of our friends to go check out Brony Time this week. So if they want to get the inside scoop on our feelings, and if they want to hear me be pretty schnickered, because I was a few glasses in last night, I couldn't even remember what a parking meter was.
So the general gist of the situation is, hey, the My Little Pony annual came out. It is a issue of the Power Ponies as a comic, not the episode Power Ponies, but Power Ponies as in-universe characters who are not the main 6. And they're fighting with the other villains in the Power Ponies world. There's several new ones. Maniac shows up, but so do a couple others. And it's a fairly decent comic. They don't all get along, and Humdrum is just a little earth pony. It's cute. And it's, as a comic by itself, it is inoffensive and rather entertaining. And the B story, which involves Maniac finding the mirror, because of course that dang mirror pops up all the time, and seeing and meeting her Equestria Girls world double, and leaving like cliffhangers for future plot developments that'll never be touched on, because why?
That mirror truly is the Stargate. Just lock those chevrons in and go anywhere.
And then there's politics involved, and shout outs to people that really kind of hate bronies, which makes the whole thing a lot less interesting and a lot less happy. That's kind of cool. We go pretty deep into it, and basically what you have is somebody who we've had on the show a couple times kind of come across as being somebody who isn't very fond of bronies, which is kind of a problem when like 70% of your market is bronies buying the comics. So, yeah, if you really want to hear us go on about it for about half an hour, you should go listen to Brony Time with Alpha and Five Iron. You should be listening to them anyway. I mean, come on. What are you, a casual?
They're good guys.
Go listen to them and go listen to our discussion of the situation, because it's really unfortunate that a pretty cool comic on its face has turned into kind of a rather unpleasant cheeseball of drama. So that's really all I think we need to bring up on this show.
Yeah, I mean,
go listen to Alpha and Five Iron. What else did you have? Unless you have anything else to add, AC?
As I've kind of stated, and I'll just say it, it's some drama. It's unfortunate, but as I've kind of as I kind of stated with it, people have all sorts of ideas and opinions of things. The entire fact of just like the all bronies are terrible is like, well, I know, but okay. I mean, I understand where they're trying to come from with those words, but it's not coming across right. And I completely gave an open invitation to said person to kind of be like, well, you want to talk it through, and very politely said, I think I'll just let this blow over. And so, yeah, I think that for the most part, if what you find out with that, Horse News has a whole write-up on it. So if you want to read up, of course, it's the Horse News. It's Horse News. They
don't really editorialize. They just post screen caps of everything related to it. It's not like they're making crap up. It's just, yo, this is what he's saying, and feel free to draw conclusions about what he says and his opinions from what he said.
Yep. So yeah, it's all inside of there. And just take it if it affects your opinion of the comic, or at least that comic in general, then do what you will. And yeah, that's all it is. I know that we're sounding weird and cryptic. We usually try and we've tried our best to steer away from drama that doesn't affect a lot of people. And this is very much something
this is essentially inside baseball, really. Right.
It's people getting mad about Tumblr drama with the My Little Pony comic. Like 99% of people just will not care. So, but there is definitely a very strong core of people that are invested in this, that are just gonna, I'm gonna take this to the grave. It's just like, I can't invest myself hard enough. I've got enough other problems, and I don't have the time to try and change the world on this. So, So, yeah, that's the take on that. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on. What else we got here, sir? We got emails.
We got a couple emails. 3 of them.
Woo! Awesome. All right. So you can always send email across us at bronyville@gmail.com. That is an email address. You can go and you can send emails to us at bronyville@gmail.com. I'm not like Brad at giantbomb.com. I do know how to say the email address.
Alt F1 at giantbomb.com. Wait. No. Giantpowerbombcast at gmail.com.
Send it to Alex at giantbomb.com if you wish to be part of our wrestling discussion. Yeah, let's have some My Little Pony wrestling discussions sent to Alex Navarro. That would be great.
Yeah. Who do you think would win? Bulk biceps or Rainbow Dash?
That'd be pretty good.
Strength versus speed. It'd be like Andre the Giant fighting Rey Mysterio. Come on, you want to talk about that? Let's go.
They'd probably go into the details of like, well, if we're talking about if we're talking about WCW in the 90s, you could see Mysterio probably taking it over. But, if we're talking Vince McMahon's run in the WWE, he favors the big guys. So, obviously, Rey Mysterio did have a run with the title, but that title run was only for one day. Before it was taken off. I actually did the research on that because I kind of liked Rey Mysterio. And yeah, you would get into that detail, but then they'd go like, My Little Pony again. All right. Well, you can always send an email to us, bronyville@gmail.com. I will start with this one from Jams the Robot. Hey, AC, Sandy, and assorted guests. I have been listening to you guys since early 2012, and I have loved all of it. Wanted to thank you guys for talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. Despite my best efforts, I avoided everything related to the game. It has been causing my anxiety to act up, but you guys talking about it helped it be less scary somehow. I love you guys on the show. Thank you for continuing to make it. Jams the Robot. I guess we talked about Five Nights at Freddy's some time ago. I forget shows sometimes. We did talk about it.
We did.
It's a silly game. You just got to learn the patterns. Just keep looking at the Pirate Cove.
Oh, man. Speaking of Pirate Cove, I'll put this in the notes. Somebody at Rainforest has made a Foxy cosplay.
I know that they were chasing Mitty Mandy around for a bit.
I'm pretty sure that was the picture I see.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. The bunny is on your left door. The chick is on the right door. If Freddy is right outside your door on the left, anytime you look down at your PDA, make sure to close the door. Keep looking at the Pirate Cove because he only appears after you don't look at the Pirate Cove long enough. If he's already running down the hallway, close the left door. Make sure you only close the doors when there is someone there, and make sure to use the light liberally to actually be able to see if there is somebody outside the door. And if the door doesn't close, just open up the PDA you've already lost.
Yep. Just stare at the PDA until you run out of power and the animatronic rips your heads off.
Oh, man. Then the worst is when you run out of power and you're just sitting there in the dark and Freddy shows up and he starts playing the song. And it's just that, come on. Let me live. It's pretty rough. I haven't played it. I've just done watch throughs. I can't take a spooky game. Somebody sent me Amnesia a while back and I was like, nope.
Just think about playing that with Oculus.
Nope. So that's the thing. When you play like a normal game, you can turn your head away and take yourself out of it. But with the Oculus, it's just like, nope, you are 100% in this one. Absolutely.
See, one thing I really, really want to do is I want to go and play Skyrim that's modded to hell and back with an Oculus. That would be cool.
That would be good. I have a friend that does a lot of modding, and he sent me his list of like, hey, this is what you should mod Skyrim with.
This is my 137 mods.
Oh my god. It's like, use this loader, use this tool, make sure that it loads in the right order. I was just sitting there going like, I cannot, holy crap. Like, just knowing that I'd spend hours just putting Skyrim together.
See, and like right now I'm playing Minecraft again, except I'm playing version 1.64 and it has 230 mods.
Oh.
It's called AT Launcher using the Yogscast Complete Pack. Mm-hmm. And it makes the game really fun because it has all this other stuff you can do. But yeah, when you have the game, then you have what the fandom and community does to it. 230 mods. Oh my god. But it makes it a lot more fun.
And now, because we talked about Spaghetti Fest and bad questions, it's just recalling that Cringe Fest video from Minecon. bad questions like, will Feed the Beast and Tech It ever be work on something together? It's like, oh boy, you just added us a bad blood question there, kid. Oof. Yeah, but the yeah, that is that's something. Yeah, but happy that we made Five Nights at Freddy's a little easier. All right, let's do this. Patrick sent us an email.
All right. Hey there. I've been getting caught up on old Bronyville episodes and heard Coder mention that he's from New Hampshire. I live in Alabama right now, but spent 18 years in Greenville, New Hampshire. Just wondering specifically which town he was in. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not certain.
Isn't he in like California now?
I really don't know. It's been a while since we've actually reached out to Coder Brony.
Yeah. So since first running across your podcast, I've got to be honest with myself and admit that I'm currently a brony.
No.
It's not something I go around telling everyone, but the show and the community have really been such a bright spot in my life. Anyway, keep up the great show. Patrick.
Not having to tell everyone is an okay thing.
Yeah. You can enjoy things without wearing it on your sleeve, chest, and or tattooing it to your skin.
Oh no, I'm wearing it on my chest right now. I'm sorry.
I'm currently wearing a rainbow tie-dyed t-shirt, so, you know.
I'm wearing a Horse Famous shirt.
But I do have a derpy vinyl on my car that has been there for at least 2 years now, and a Rarity 3 Gems cutie mark thing that has also been on my rear window for the last year and a half.
How does this make your partner feel?
He doesn't like driving my car anyway, so he doesn't really care.
He just rolled his eyes a few times.
He's like, well, it's your car. Like, yes, it is. We have upstairs neighbors, and they have various They have like a Totoro and a couple other things. I mean, the people in my immediate area, the apartment complex, are generally nerdy types. So there's people that have like, one dude has a Captain America shield on his car, another person has a Zelda Triforce. You know, it's not like my having derpy and Rarity cutie mark decals on my car makes me out to be this weird outsider. So
no, running a convention does.
Yes, actually it does. Well, my upstairs neighbors run an anime store, so
grody.
There's some cool ladies, and they're really good at they're really good for our promotion this year. So yeah, cool.
Yep, excellent. All right.
Enjoy the show and enjoy the community.
Yep, glad you like that. All right, next up. Last email. Oh, these are nice. Oh, no, it's Rusty.
Oh, no.
Rusty. First off, I want to know what I forget what we talked about earlier. What are you going to hurt me with? He mentioned in the chat that he learned more information to hurt me with. He's already done such damage to me so far with these terribly mean pictures. I don't Five Nights at Freddy's things. Unless it's going to be like Flash Sentry poking his head through the doorway. Like, no! Nah, I like Flash. All right, let's see there. Greetings, Apple CEO, Chair Sandy, and Relationship Advisor Starry Night. Rusty here. Really love the show. And while I wait for Tetra to draw me more ammo, I wanted to ask, what exactly does permanent syndication mean? Both Google and Wikipedia have been very unhelpful. And all I know, it has something to do with hitting episode 100 or 101, Rusty Headphones. Good question.
So my understanding of syndication is that once a show hits the magical number of 65, that means that they can generally air an episode a week and not have a repeat for more than a year. That's now if they air ponies twice a day for, you know, every weekday and twice on Sunday, or, you know, if they're playing it for 6 days a week, that's still, you know, every, you know, 5 weeks or so until there's a repeat. Once you hit 100, you can basically double that to every like 10 weeks, and if they're doing it as frequently, or nearly 2 years without a repeat if you're only airing a show once a week. Basically, it means that they can continually air the show without it becoming necessarily stale for a very long period of time.
And the other benefit to it deals with the people that are affected by the syndication. which would be DHX, the voice actors, etc.
Yeah.
When a show becomes syndicated, they get a cut of the profit in residuals whenever it actually hits syndication. Once you actually hit particular thresholds like 100, which the 100 is one of the big ones, it increases the residuals much more.
Yeah, and with Pony being as popular as it is and being one of the first series from Hasbro to ever get this far means that they have a great deal of faith in the show and the people that made it. Now, I don't know if the residuals are still a thing. I mean, it's how it used to be in the past, and we don't know if Hasbro, how their deals work. But it could mean that the people involved in the show will be getting a little bitty residual checks for quite a long time.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of, that's one of the reasons why there was almost like some. So you remember with season 2.5, season 2 to season 3, that was kind of one of the weird parts because like they stopped at episode 63. Because like that's one away from syndication. Because otherwise, if they get syndicated, then Hasbro has to keep making payouts. But because they're getting syndication money, etc., so forth. Sometimes it just becomes easier just to be like, we don't have to syndicate it. We don't have to worry about that. And now it becomes a little bit of a logistics thing where it's like, oh, well, okay, well, I guess we'll go past that. Now it's technically syndicatable. And then, beyond that, once you hit the 100 episode mark, it's like, okay, well, now it is, the people involved get an even bigger slice.
Right now we're
like at 96 or something.
91.
91, okay.
Yeah, 3 26-episode series and a 13-episode series is 91. And, they're actually going out of their way and supposedly doing something pretty awesome for episode 100, which, we shall see.
There have been rumors. So let's see. If it's 91, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 26 in S5, and I know that S6 is coming. Just as a hint, it is.
So we're looking at episode 100 roughly May next year.
Yep. And it will probably blow our minds.
We'll just be like, oh, no, they sound like that. Even more than the movie, it sounds like that they're just going to fan service our heads off. So, hey, guess what? You guys made us a bunch of money. Woo! Fine, you want more Lyra and Bonbon? There, done. What else you want? Derpy? There. We got Derpies for you. What else you want? Dr. Hooves? All right, here's some Dr. Hooves. What else? With
Roseluck and Derpy. They're running around together. What's that blue box? We're not saying. It's a thing.
Let's do it. What else? What else you guys think? Is somebody in armor? You want somebody in armor? Like that stuff with the Pip-Boy? Sure, fine. We'll put that in the background. What next? Let's do this.
Flash Sentry getting hit by the train? Well, that's a bit gory for us. All right.
But sure, yeah, we can just do it with Pinkie Pie. She just hits him with a small toy train. Let's do this. Next, what else?
Airship Adventures.
Just rapid fire.
Rarity on an airship fighting a giant crab.
Let's do it. Yep. Yeah, that sounds good. That's totally fine. Who's writing this? M.A. Larson. Perfect. All right, let's go. Keep going.
Wings, horns, falling from the heavens. People walking in one door, coming out the other with wings and horns.
You want a Transformers crossover? We got your Transformers crossover right here. Michael Bay, lens flare. Let's do this. Woo.
Littlest Pet Shop. Twilight Barkle shows up in the world. Everyone's
let's do
like,
this.
what the hell? What happened to Twilight?
Next on, Twilight Barkle. Let's do this. Yep.
Swinhill running around on the back of Big Mac. Let's do it.
Yep, this done. It's done. 10 out of 10. Major League Gaming. It's okay.
Turned down for what?
Oh, boy. I've done auctioning at conventions before. It's fun. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be that's going to be kind of everybody's kind of talking up that episode, so, and I think that they're going to be happy because, the team that's on it is going to have a little bit, just a little bit of like, hey, say everyone, they sent me $250 this year for my syndication on that show from 8 years ago. Woo! So
I'm going to go buy a couple cases of beer and drink it all in celebration.
Hey, guys.
The ride finally ended in 2018.
Whoa, it's ending that soon? Wow.
2020. Or who knows? It's going to be... It's going to go full SpongeBob. It's going to go full Simpsons.
2047.
CMCs will never get their cutie marks.
We're just gonna hear just
Apple, Claire Corlett's gonna take up smoking at some point, and she's gonna be like, "I don't know, Applejack.
It's like
I sure wish I could get my cutie mark."
Except
I misidentified the fucking voice actress.
I
terrible.
really do think that it's just at some point that they've got to make it to the point where it's like, give them their marks. They're all turning into adults. Like the voice actresses are turning into adults by this point. They're just going to be like,
Maddie Peters is like 17 or 18 at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, hey, how's it going? Listen, I'm Scootaloo. I can't be a kid anymore. I'm sorry. I'm in college. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. We did have that idea. We kind of the main six grow up, and the CMCs plus a couple other ponies become the main focus of the show. G 4.5 doesn't change the art style; just changes the focus of the primary characters.
Chef, you said that that Scootaloo's cutie mark is a blank. That reminds me of that episode, season 0, Twitter account where they stated that what was it? Scootaloo finds out that her cutie mark is actually preventing other people from getting their cutie marks. It's like, no.
Well, yeah. Barkala brings up a good point that the voice actress for Bart Simpson has been Bart Simpson for 24, 26 years.
Yeah, but she's doing a young boy's voice. That's
Sweetie Belle isn't going to sound that cute.
She ain't going to be Squeaky Belle. She ain't Squeaky Belle anymore anyway.
Yeah, she's really not. Like the days of her being super squeaky is gone. So like that's the difference. You can have there's plenty of boy voices that are done by females, Spike being a perfect example. But the you've already lost the squeakiness from Sweetie Belle. Those characters probably are going to have to grow up at some point. So, all right. Well, let's see. That takes care of that episode or those questions and the emails that we got there. Let's see. I need to come up with my one cool thing. I know what it is. Sandy, go ahead and talk about our iTunes and the stuff.
Yep. 5-star iTunes bronies. Nobody given us a review. Alas.
So,
the hiatus sucks. But we're still like number 52 on the What's Hot because reasons, I guess.
Yeah, just go check that out. Somehow we're still up there, even though we're like 2 weeks behind on posting episodes.
So hey, by the time we actually get the episode where we talk about Equestria Girls out, it'll be like 4 weeks out.
Yeah, it'll be like the season will be starting. And
well, Rainbow Rocks is going to be available on Blu-ray at New York Comic Con on like October 9th. So, we'll just by the time our discussion actually gets posted to the RSS, it'll probably be the DVD's out and people have already seen it.
Mm-hmm. Now hold on, let me hit this. There we go. I need to pull this YouTube video for the thing and try and make sure I can stop YouTube videos from loading too early. Okay, there we go. All right, well, let's see. It's one cool thing time. It's time for us to leave you with one link. There is a YouTuber called An Angry Sock Puppet. I really like his videos. There are a lot of weird TF2 tomfoolery. And he created one called Cartoon Horse Program. It's pretty crazy. I'll leave it at that. And it's full of people really mad that he did a video about My Little Pony. Yep. There you go.
And
yeah, it's really good. He's the one, if you've ever seen the actually I'll probably play it on the stream after we end up here. But if you've ever seen the TF2 public service announcement videos where he explains the right way to actually play classes in TF2, which is to say, hey, if you're an engineer and you're playing with another engineer and his sentry's hurt, you probably want to go hit that thing and make it better. Just as an idea, just to be a bro. It might make sense if there's, 1, 2, 3, 8 snipers on your team. Maybe don't play a sniper. But he does that in a very silly, comical way. So go check that. But yeah, links there. Cartoon Horse Program. Check it out. Chef Sandy, what is this in honor of Lyra and Bon Bon?
In honor of Lyra and Bon Bon, I posted this earlier this week on Twitter. It is a YouTube video of Elton John and RuPaul singing "Don't Go Breaking My Heart."
Nice.
It is all kinds of fabulous.
Oh, yes.
In the ways you would kind of expect.
Don't go breaking my heart. Yeah, that
in all of its 4x3 1990s. Yeah.
It's pretty glorious. But yeah, you can check that. Yeah, that's
it is a thing.
It sure is a thing. It's a pretty good thing. So you should go check that out. Elton John and RuPaul. And don't go breaking my heart. You can go check that out. And guys, that's the end of the episode here.
The pool.
That's what we got. Not tomorrow. Next week. Next Sunday, actually. We'll cover Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks. We'll have some people in here, and we might be, if we want to, we might actually go either Saturday. I don't know what your availability there, Sandy. May go Saturday night, so that way we could try and get Dusty on here because I know he'll want to talk about it.
Yeah.
We could do that, or we could do Sunday night. What's your general availability?
I think Saturday night would probably be better because I'm also trying to organize a Nightmare Nights staff outing to the State Fair of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And only the strong who survive the onslaught of fried food are tough enough to be my staff.
Oh, there you go.
I may have openings.
So yeah, okay, so we'll try and do that for Saturday night just to see if we can get Dusty, see if we can get Pixel on, just have a good time and talk about Horse Lady's high school movie. So that will be nighttime Pacific. Just keep a lookout on my Twitter feed, Bronyville, at Bronyville. That'll be a good place to see it. May pop into the stream on... just so you guys know that it's going to be different. We did not do a tabletop recently. We had to reschedule just because they were all over the place.
Yeah, our schedules are not syncing up and probably won't until after Nightmare Nights.
Right.
And then even then.
It's been a busy time. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up. First off, I want to thank Sandy Thunderbringer as always.
Count on me.
And I always want to thank our big old fans, all you guys over the chat rooms over on this side. I want to thank all you guys in the chat that are just hanging out, talking to us.
53 viewers right now. It's actually really... Since we've gone to Stream Up, we've been getting a lot more viewers. It's great.
It's great. There's some really good people here, and the really nice... everybody's all chatting away, so that's good. We'll do a post show and everything after this where we talk a little bit.
Yep.
But let's do this. BronyShow.com, BronyvillePodcast.com, email across at Bronyville@gmail.com. You can join us roughly every Saturday, noon Pacific, at Justin.t. No, not at all. Not at all. That doesn't work anymore. At StreamUp.com/Bronyville-podcast. You can find that pretty easily. Also, anytime I post on my Twitter feed, which is at Bronyville, tells you exactly, gives you that link. You can listen to the show on Celestia Radio Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific or Ponyville FM Tuesdays 2 p.m. Pacific. That would be 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UTC, or 10 p.m. UPC. My Twitter account is at Bronyville for the third time.
Mine's at Chef Sandy.
Meetup groups. I'm part of the Bronies of Northern California, and I went to my first meeting of that in ages when I went to go see Rainbow Rocks. That's pretty good.
I've seen my crew a little more recently than you have, but yeah, I'll be attending the both showings at the Alamo Draft House in some form or another with my Bronies of North Texas.
I have to do it again. I'm sorry. The Alamo Draft Horse.
Yes.
Wah, wah, wah. And we're doing Babs Con and Nightmare Nights Dallas. Nightmare Nights Dallas being pretty soon.
Yep, 26 days. If this was the con, this would be the follow up. This would be the post con. How did we do? I would be tired and or possibly drunk at this point.
Yep. So yeah, we got that. It's going to be a crazy con. There's already a bunch of silly plans for that, but we will do that for another time. For now, we're done. This has been episode 53 in the bag. We will go back next week. We will talk more about Horse Movie, a super special spoiler casty version of the show. Till then, sleep well, everybody.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I need to go and change the in the template file. Change the sharing to